The music played softly, couples danced gracefully, and laughter filled the wedding hall. But in the corner, a young woman in a wheelchair, wearing a stunning white dress, sat alone. She was the bride. The whispers in the crowd grew louder. A CEO in a wheelchair, who would ever marry her? No one knew that before the night ended, one man's decision would silence them all. Sophia, 32, a successful CEO, had built an empire with her intelligence and determination. But tonight, none of that mattered. At her own wedding, she sat in silence, her hands trembling on the wheels of her chair. The groom's side looked restless, almost embarrassed. The groom himself was nowhere to be seen. Her eyes fell on the dance floor where guests whispered behind polite smiles. "She's powerful. But who could love her like this?" one woman muttered. Sophia lowered her gaze. Moments later, the news spread like wildfire. The groom had left. Sophia's heart sank, but she kept her chin high. She had faced boardrooms full of men who doubted her, but this humiliation cut deeper than any business battle. Her mother tried to console her, but the pity in everyone's eyes was unbearable. Maybe no one will ever see me beyond this wheelchair, she thought. Just then, the grand doors opened. A man in a simple suit walked in. Not a millionaire, not a politician, not one of the elites who filled the room. He was Daniel, a kind-hearted teacher and childhood friend of Sophia's, whom she hadn't seen in years. His eyes searched the crowd until they found her. While others whispered, he walked straight to Sophia's table. "May I sit here?" he asked, his voice calm. Sophia blinked in surprise. "Why would you?" Daniel smiled. "Because I've been waiting years to tell you something." The hall grew silent as Daniel extended his hand. "Will you dance with me, Sophia?" The whispers turned into gasps. "She's in a wheelchair!" someone hissed, but Daniel didn't care. With patience, he guided her wheelchair onto the dance floor, moving in rhythm with the music. For the first time that night, Sophia smiled. The guests watched in stunned silence. A woman who had been mocked for her condition was now the center of the most beautiful dance. As the music faded, Daniel knelt before Sophia, not in pity, but in love. "Sophia, I don't see a chair. I see the bravest woman I've ever known. You built an empire. You carried yourself with dignity when others tried to shame you. And tonight I won't let you be alone." Tears welled in her eyes. You really mean that?" she whispered. "With all my heart," Daniel said. The abandoned wedding turned into something extraordinary. Guests who once whispered now clapped as Daniel and Sophia stood together. He may not have been rich, but his heart was richer than all the fortunes in the room. Sophia looked around at the stunned crowd and then back at Daniel. For the first time in her life, she didn't feel like the CEO who had to prove herself. She felt like a woman who was truly loved. And so, the story that began with humiliation ended with applause.